see the presentation of all the Dutch registers, which all the public organizations have to implement, either use it or contribute to it. And one of the last ones, as Martin has presented, for us is the one around the underground. And for Rijkswaterstaat, it means, just to get a feeling, that we have to deliver about 200,000 data sets a year to this new register. So it's not for us something like, you know, a small thing stuck away somewhere. It's a huge contribution to a register where we have already problems implementing the other ones correctly. So we think to share data between organizations is really key, but it is a huge effort to get it really implemented. And this underground register will be one of the last, but frankly speaking, Rijkswaterstaat is also struggling with some others to get them rightly implemented. If we look at this register, we will have to, as Rijkswaterstaat, contribute to it as a user and as a source owner, and it will be in the way as presented here, where we have by law obligations to deliver, to use, to examine and to report any things we see that is not going right. So it's I think if you compare it to other countries, I think we are quite developed if you look at sharing data in such a way. If we have this register, we think as Rijkswaterstaat we can profit by it by limiting the cost we have to spend on underground, getting underground information, and we get also benefits by improving the information, and we saw already a lot of examples how we can use that information. What we didn't see is how does the registration currently looks like, how does it feel, and we have an example of this. Here you see a little map, and on this map you see black triangles. And currently you can click on the triangles, and if you click on the triangle, you can see on your left-hand side the geo data, and on your right-hand side the other supporting data on that specific spot. So it's quite accessible for a lot of people what's currently there, and the ambition is also of course to go further, but this is the way it works at this moment. And it's for us it's very helpful. So what point do we like to make here from Rijkswaterstaat? We have made a huge effort already in getting the BIM implemented, and the BIM consists, as you all know, out of the data structure, the exchange, and some tooling. But how can this contribute to also the underground data? Well, I think that a lot of people of you think the BIM model is really used for presenting in a digital way the model or the construction we are building. But for Rijkswaterstaat we also see a huge benefit using BIM in all the stages in the complete life cycle of the project. So for us it's really the basis for our asset management. And there you see the connection to the underground data, because it's similar to the BIM data which is collected through all the stages of a project. Also the underground data is collected through all the stages of the project. And what we see is once we use the BIM, we have through the stages of the project, we have no data loss anymore. And because the underground data basically follows the same pattern, if we would use the same standards and the same way of exchanging the data, we would also prevent the data loss in the underground information. So that's for us with the projects we are running, really a big advantage if we could look at the data in this way and treat the data also in that way. Because we currently see that the underground data is stored in different systems at different clients, and that makes it the quality less. So the register will definitely help. But if we would use the BIM standards, the open BIM standards, also for the underground data, we would really make a step forward. So that's an easy statement, and we would say, okay, then we decide to do that, and then it takes a couple of months, and then we are there. But if you look at what we have already spent at Rijkswaterstaat at the BIM project, we've started at 2012. And we think we have implemented it in 2018, and only then we are at a level where we can say, okay, now we are coming to maturity. So it's not something you do overnight. It's really something you have to invest in many years, and you have to really take a lot of focus on if you want to implement it well. So. If our advice would be to add the underground data in this way of assets, information transfer and maintenance, but it will really be something of a long breath and not something which you realize on a very short-term notice. And how would it look like then? I think many of you are really BIM addicts. So what we would really like to see is you have the BRO register, then you have the formats like the IDM Part 2 and the coins, which then could be transferred to an internal database of our Rijkswaterstaat. RWS is standing for Rijkswaterstaat, where you could validate the data and eventually bring it back to the BRO register. So it looks simple, but we have, I had to say, Herman really pinpointed me that it would be a future perspective of 2025 before we would get there. So, Herman also gave me a small video, and the small video is so big that it doesn't fit on the computer. So I skipped the video. I will make sure you get a link to the video. And he wanted me to present that we actually use BIM already, and also very nearby where we are here right now, there is a main construction of a road going on between Schiphol and Amsterdam, and there, together with the builder of the road, we exchange the data in the BIM format, and we have a video showing how we do that and that it actually is working. Unfortunately, I really had some problems with getting the stuff here on the computer, so I can't show it to you. The only thing I can show you is a screen where we show how the data is coming into Rijkswaterstaat and showing that this type of data we have to validate before it gets into our systems. So this is a screen which shows how you import the data and get it through the validation. So then I get to my conclusion. My conclusion would be that BIM should not only be used for modeling, but also really for the transfer of data, that the uniformity of standards could also be used for underground asset data, and now you can use these type of standards, and it would be really helpful for an execution organization like our areas to use the same standards for the above ground and underground asset data. And it's something which will take many years to accomplish, and we have to be, if we go with that path in a very nice way, we can make it, and we should not do that too quickly and too dirty. So that's basically what I would like to put forward. Thank you.